All right, welcome back live. We continue right here with the Sports Call, 412-575-2600. Before we get into some of your phone calls, want to give Gene an opportunity to let all of you know about a big comedy show that he has coming up. If you've never seen Mr. Collier in concert, you should. It's funny, and you'll be raising money for a good cause. Gene?
That's right. It's April 27th. Thanks for mentioning it, Bob. Be at the Sokol Club on Carson Street. Saturday night, 8 o'clock show. It's for a great cause, the Myasthenia Gravis Association. You can get tickets on the association's website or by calling or by going to slapsticksproductions.com. And we really like to see you out at that show because it is such an important cause, and we always have a good time. I hope you'll enjoy it. Come out and enjoy it.
And some of the nightly sports call is part of Gene's content, I could tell you that.
Might get in there, yeah.
It might get in there once in a while. All right, the other thing I want to tell you about the other series in the East, it was Toronto holding serve at home. They lead the series 2-1 over the Bruins. Hard-fought win for them, 3-2, that final score tonight. Another hard-hitting game. Let's go to the lines. We got Ken in Clearfield. Hey, Ken, go ahead.
Hey, Bob, Gene, how are you guys doing this evening?
Good, thank you.
Hey, I know it's disappointing the Penguins being down 3-0, but back when I was in 1975, I was 13 years old, coming from a Little League championship loss, and my dad said, hey, the Penguins are up 3-0 in the series, and they lost 4-3 to guess who? The Islanders. And ever since then, he said karma will come back one of these years to get them. Well, 44 years later,
that's a big ask.
The Penguins, I'm going to talk to you on Saturday night when the series is tied 3-3.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Listen, all it takes is one. As I tried, I try to stay away from predictions because nobody knows. We're always wrong. There are things that can change. Why do it? Anyway, all they have to do is start by taking care of one game, and then you just go to the next. That's all you. I know it sounds very trite. It is. That's the way it goes. But, Gene, how else do you approach this? And this team, I got to believe, has a lot of character and pride. It's a championship team. They've had a great run. This is the time they have to dig deeper than ever before to come up with something. They've never been in this position.
Yeah, that's why I like this idea of not practicing today. I do. I think they just have to walk away from it for 24 hours at least and come back with a clear head and just go about this the way they know how to play and try to make the Islanders play the way the Penguins want to play. Which is not all that different. The Penguins are, pretty responsible defensively. So I just think they have to, come at it with a fresh approach. Obviously, nothing to lose. Even if they won tomorrow, they'd still have a really daunting task. So I think they should try and have fun playing hockey, which they usually do. Yeah.
Well, the bottom line is they've got to get some rebounds. One thing about New York, as I said, they are completely well-disciplined when it comes to covering players in their own zone. They crowd the middle. You might go back to the Rangers series from a few years ago when the Penguins lost all those 2-1 games. Do you remember?
Sure.
I forget what year that was, but same concept. New York packed it in. It was hard to get anything through. You block shots, you get frustrated. So I think the Penguins have got to figure out ways and take advantage of whatever opportunities. I don't like Dominic Simone on the top line. I think he's a real smart hockey player, but they need to make a change there to come with more production on that line. Let's go to John in Banksville. Hey, John, what's up? How you doing?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
I'm really, I've got a comment and a question.
Okay.
The first line is disappeared, and I can't see it. Simone definitely should not be there. Simone should be in Wilkes-Barre and not on this team at all.
No, I don't agree with that. I think he has a role. I just don't think it's a top 6 role.
But, looking at this, it's really interesting. They've scored, some people have been yelling about Murray. They've scored 2 goals in the last 2 games.
That makes Murray look worse.
Scored by Gabranson and
Wilson.
Come on, where are the top line players? And my question is, I think one of the reasons for it is we have to look at it honestly. They're getting a little older. They're in their 30s. God knows I'd love to be in my 30s, but for a hockey player, it puts some tread on you, and they're a lot slower than they used to be. And my question for you tonight is, do you think in the offseason, if they go down in the first round, there's going to be some changes made? And I'm thinking 1 or 2 major changes.
All right. Get Gene's response to that. Thanks, John.
Yeah, I really don't think so. I think Crosby and Malkin are really in their primes. You might be right. Maybe they're a step slower. I don't really see it. Malkin still covers the ice, like a superstar, and he is a superstar. I don't think you go looking to break that up. I think you go looking to maybe change some things around it. But I don't see a big shakeup. I mean, they've been in the playoffs 13 years in a row. If you go out quickly, I don't think that means you got to start over.
Malkin's kind of a weird situation because he's had his worst year, I think, that I can remember. He's coming off 98 points. He's always, when he's on his game, very difficult to defend. But this year we've not seen a lot of that. We've seen careless play more so than ever before. And I think that, for some reason, hasn't changed. I thought it would as it went to the postseason. Phil Kessel's not had a good run of it of late. And I wouldn't expect Jake Gensel to go all these games with no points given his postseason history. So there's a lot here, but I think they need to, they need to come up with younger. They did that with McCann, with Sam Pedersen. Those are 22-year-old kids. Bukestad's young, although he needs to get better in this series. It happens when another teams play well, and I think people around here need to credit the Islanders. Lou Lamoriello has a way of doing this. He knows how to get good defensive efforts.
They won more games. They had more points.
Yeah.
They should win.
Marilyn and Mount Hall. Go ahead, Marilyn.
Hi. I'm wondering why you think the Penguins are doing so poorly. Do you think it's fatigue or the play of Malkin or too many penalties?
Well, I think too many penalties in game two. I think overall, the New York has just been a better team, systematic team. And you can make the argument that sometimes superstar players, lots of them, are difficult to deal with. They're wonderful when everything works. There could be ego issues. I don't know what goes on in that situation, Gene, but we've seen it over the year with the Penguins. And the other thing, the answer to your question is the New York Islanders have played better. They don't have star guys. Trotz came into a system where he can get those guys, because they don't have much pedigree, to listen to what he says, and they're listening to what he says.
Yeah, I think we should emphasize, Bob, that these kinds of things happen in the playoffs. That's the nature of the playoffs. We've seen this before. 2013, Crosby and Malkin go up against Boston, never led in the series, swept out in 4 games. 3 years later, they won back-to-back Stanley Cups. This is the nature of the NHL playoffs. Look at what is going on with Columbus and Tampa Bay. We sit here for 6 months discussing who might get the better seed in the playoffs. Everyone agrees Columbus has the worst situation. They're about to sweep a team that won 62 games. That's the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things you can't figure out. It makes you wonder about the regular season and how valuable it is to put up 127 points.
I don't wonder about it. It's meaningless, which I say on the show.
I know you do.
I believe every other.
You don't pay attention to February or March?
After the Super Bowl.
Okay, there we go. We got some tweets I'll get into. More calls on the way. We need to take a break. When we come back, Waylon, Bob, Joseph, Terry, all coming up next right here live on Pittsburgh CW.